Okay, we are recording. So I am super happy to have everybody here today for a lunch and learn. I think this is our first lunch and learn of May. I can't remember what month we're in anymore and what week and what day. So I'm super excited to have everybody here, and I'm extra excited to have our special guest today, Julie Gizzi. Julie Gizzi's been with the company for, and I was too busy trying to get this to stream that I dropped out of the page with her bio. So she's been in Pampered Chef since 1996. And I'll let her tell a little bit more about her story, but I'm blown away at her overall statistics. And I can't wait to hear what she has to say. She has $2.3 million in career sales. So, Julie, that's like mind blowing to me. And I really can't wait to learn from you and hear what you have to say. I've seen you do like demos with home office, and I'm always so impressed with your knowledge and how much you know. So I can't wait to hear what you have for us. She also has 300 qualified recruits. So it's not just like she's selling, she's also building a team and doing all of the things. So, Julie, I'm going to turn it over to you since it's the middle of the day and I want to respect everybody's time. Julie's going to train us today on, I think, what she calls is like a video based party. So I'm excited because I don't know what this is except for the videos that she sent us over that I shared in the event. So, Julie, I'm going to hand it over to you and make you the spotlight.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me here today. I'm really passionate about this work like you all are. And just to give you a little bit of background, I started my business in 96. In fact, on May 20th, I'll celebrate my 25-year anniversary. So I'm super excited about that. I built my business doing in-home parties. And I think that has a lot of impact on why I do the things that I do today in my virtual business, because of that background that I had. So I've literally done more than 3,000 in-home parties, I think. I haven't done one since prior to COVID. So I have been virtual for many years, but went completely virtual, of course, when we all did back in March. I kind of stumbled upon this style of party by accident, taking into consideration my skills as a demonstrator in a live situation and an in-home party, and I kind of brought it to the virtual party world. So I'm going to share my screen, and there'll be time for some questions at the end if you all have them. Hopefully you had a chance to see the sample videos that Erin shared. And if you haven't, and some of the stuff that I'm sharing doesn't quite make sense, if you watch them, it will make sense. So let me share with you what I mean about what a virtual based, a video and recipe based party is, at least in my mind. I consider them being posts that are not static. So in my virtual parties, I use very, very few product driven posts. Almost everything I do is a video, either of me or almost always of me. But even in my team, I train them to use them. If they don't create them, to use them from the home office or from YouTube. What I have found is when so many consultants were having trouble, especially when the inventory issues happened a year ago, which isn't much of an issue right now, but sometimes things sell out. What I found is this approach was pretty much inventory proof. We had very little up and down fluctuation team sales wise because of this way of doing virtual parties. It also created less frustration from the consultant side, because I don't know if you guys have had this happen before, but you're in the middle of a virtual party, all of a sudden you see something is not available and you think, oh my gosh, I've got to change out my whole template now because this specific product is not available, and it's going to throw everything. That doesn't happen with this style party because so much is being covered in the style of presentation. So that means there's less frustration for the consultant as well as for the consumer, because you're actually teaching real skills. When I am doing this, I also want you to know this background. I do them entirely from my business page. And I know there's different philosophies about how to do this. When COVID happened, I made a commitment to go live on my business page every day, because I knew that I could teach families how to cook from home, because I've been doing that for years. When I made that commitment to do it every day, I thought it was going to be for about 2 weeks because we all thought it was going to be a very short-lived thing. And it turned out to take quite a bit longer. And I held that commitment and went live on my business page doing something every single day from about March 14th until around the early part of just February of this year. And it was then that I decided to take Saturdays and Sundays off. And that commitment helped me develop a lot of what I'm teaching you today. So I go live on my business page for everything that filters into my parties. Facebook loves live video, so I'm leveraging that. They don't love uploaded, recorded videos as much as they love live. So if I know that to be true, I want to make sure that I'm leveraging it. And my disclaimer, you don't all need to go live every day for this to work. It's just what I do, okay? So you want to get comfortable in that space of going live. If you need some practice, if this is new for you, because I know in this group, there's probably a wide range of experience, create a group where you don't invite anybody and practice going live there just so you can see what it looks like and you can get some practice there. The other reason why I go live for my business page is because it puts the content that I want to use later in my virtual parties in a format that is easy to share. So you're able to copy those links and post them wherever you want later. I'm never clicking the share button from my business page. I'm using the copy link, and I'm going to show you how to find that if that's new information for some of you. So why the development of this business page? Some of you develop your VIP groups, and if those groups are public, you can probably do a very similar style thing there. My VIP group is not public, so I can't go live there and share, but I can do that for my page because it's public. My idea is that the party is simply a door to the open house of where we want to do business with people long term. I don't want to just do a party and be, one and done. I want to create the beginning of a long-term relationship with customers, future hosts, and future consultants. So for that reason, I need to make sure there's something holding them and making them want to come to my business page. So that's why there's so much focus on developing that area. So why should we do these virtual video-based parties? If any of you have ever grabbed information or grabbed videos or pictures from any virtual party groups, or you've seen some of the things that Erin does, I've noticed Erin is really good about making sure her stuff is personal. There's always a picture of her in it, or there's a link that's specific to her. You want your content to be authentic and original, and there's no better way to protect your content than to do a video-based party. It means that it's going to have your personality all over it, and nobody else is going to be tempted to use it in their parties. And if they do, they're simply promoting your business, which is not what they're going to do, right? We need to protect the material that we create. It's great to inspire each other. Like I'm sharing my videos with you. I mean, it might inspire some of you to create completely different ones or the same ones, but you will make it your own. It makes your content original. And because you're demoing a variety of products, like I mentioned before, it's going to be inventory proof. When you are creating these videos in your business pages, you're also creating a massive library. It doesn't happen overnight, but it will happen over time, so that as you are planning your virtual party content, you will have lots and lots of things to choose from. And once you have enough, it even will cross seasons, so that I am pulling things now for my virtual parties that I created, in June a year ago, because it's warm weather recipes and it's absolutely still relevant. And because it's recipe focused as opposed to product focused, it still works. So that's one of the things that you're going to want to see there. You'll also find that this style that I promote is what I consider more or less customer service based. It means that my customers can come to my parties and get material, recipes, ideas, and tips that they can use immediately, whether or not they buy, or while they're waiting for their things to come. Last summer, this was important because they weren't going to get their things for a long time, right? I wanted my parties to be relevant today, the day that they watched. Today, our turnaround time is really fast, so that's not so much of an issue, but there will be people at your parties who might not be able to afford products. And yes, we want to book them, but we don't want them checking out when they see that a rock crock costs so much and they're not ready to commit to booking yet. So if there's something they're holding their attention because they're learning a recipe or cooking skills that are separate and yet together with products, you are coming across as being helpful and informative and not salesy, which for me is super important. So what do we do then for creating videos? What's the stage for creating that? I've heard from many consultants on my team, oh, my kitchen's not nice enough for me to do that, or it's really small, or it's too cluttered. So I'll give you some basic tips on how to set the stage for that so that you can be successful when you create what I call the video-based party. In your kitchen, use the same spot every time. And I know that sounds crazy, but if you're gonna make a habit of doing this, it helps to know exactly where you're gonna be demoing from every time. And here's why. You know which little area needs to be tidy. You don't have to clean your whole kitchen. In fact, if I turned the camera around in my kitchen while I'm doing demos, you would probably see that it looks maybe a lot like some of yours. There's mail, there's some clutter, there's a product that I use that I hadn't put away yet. There's all sorts of things sometimes. But the space in my screen area is picked up. It's very easy to keep clean. So I always demo from the same corner for the most part of my counter because I know what my screen needs to include. You can also let yourself be free of the recipe and be okay with demoing just a segment. You don't have to do a demo from start to finish. For example, if you're making tacos for dinner, you don't have to hang out with people the entire time you're making tacos. You might just hang out with them while you're cooking the ground beef with your mix and chop. It's okay to be very short. And this is especially important if you're shy about figuring out if I'm going to forget something. You can say, I'm going to be going live while I press garlic and do a mix and chop during my thing. And I'm talking about, hey, my family's having tacos tonight. Here's the start of it. So it's okay to demo just a segment. How do you plan what to demo? For me, this started again quite by accident back. We discover so many things when we are just trying to survive, right? So when I started doing this, grocery store trips were limited. And in fact, we had groceries delivered to our house because our area probably not as hard hit as the New York group, but pretty close. I'm in central Illinois, 2 hours south of Chicago, and it was tough here. So I had to have a plan. I had to make a menu for a couple of weeks because I knew I couldn't just run to the grocery store every day like I could before if I needed to. So I created menus for my family for 1 to 2 weeks. I would look at the menu and I would star something that I knew that I could demo. It didn't mean it was always dinner. Sometimes it was wedging an apple and serving peanut butter with it. Sometimes it was making a batch of popcorn. Sometimes it was teaching people how to open up a mango if I knew it was making something with mango in it. But I definitely had a plan of what my menu was, and I have kept that tradition. So for the whole time, I know what I'm making for dinner, usually 2 weeks ahead. And if I'm pulling something out of the freezer, that's on the menu too, and I figure a way to bring it to life. So having a menu, I think, makes this a whole lot easier. Even if your intention is only to do this once or twice a week, having a menu will help you do it successfully and be able to follow through. I started keeping a notebook. You can do this electronically, but anytime an idea would pop into my head, I would jot it down, and somehow it would make its way into my my menu, or it's kind of like my lesson plan, sort of. There's so many things that you already do in your kitchens, even if you're a beginner cook, that other people either don't know how to do or hadn't thought of, that you can teach them. So having some place where you can jot down those ideas. I mean, in the beginning, I even had categories. I wrote down, okay, what are all the things that I grill? What are all the things that I make for breakfast? What do we make for lunch? What are our favorite dinners? So it kind of started from there. And now I'll even go to my personal website, which is where I love to draw recipes from because it directs people back to our websites. I'll just type in the word chicken and look at all the chicken recipes, and I'll decide, okay, that's something my family would like. I'll make that. And you can do that with any category at all. So keep some place where you can jot ideas down. The other tip that I'll give you, and this is all in that whole idea of setups, is use the name of the recipe as the title of your post. So sometimes we just go live on our business page and we don't call it anything. It makes it really hard to find content. So before you go live, name the recipe. And for me, it's simply the name of the recipe. If you go to my business page, you'll see I don't have any descriptions at all. I'll just say, like tonight, I'm making mango salsa sundaes, old Pampered Chef recipe. So that's all it will be called, mango salsa sundaes. I will make it more elaborate when it finds its way into a party, but it means that I can create content and find it easily. Okay, so now that your video is created, how do you make the magic happen to bring it to the party? You're going to want to create verbiage that goes with the content of your post in a way that becomes engaging. So I don't want to just post videos in my virtual parties. I want people to be able to interact with them, and I want to be able to get some engagement, always engagement that produces 5-word answers. So somebody figured that out at some point, that anytime we can get a 5-word answer in a comment, it drives algorithm. So anytime that I can manage to do that,
Oh my word.
in my parties, I absolutely do. And I'll show you some examples of how to make that happen. So we'll go to my popcorn maker post. Okay, so in this video, if you had a chance to watch it, I'm making kettle corn. So there's a few things that I cover in this video that are definitely product oriented, skill oriented, putting the idea of family movie night in there. But you'll notice my post, and this is how I would word it. This is straight out of one of my parties. I don't do tickets in my parties. I gave up on that a long time ago, because I'm one of those consultants that can't stand not counting them, and I won't count them. So I don't do that. Instead, I have one post each day I label as a giveaway post, and then I'll have a smattering of bonus entry posts. And so I'll pick the post that had the most interaction as my winning giveaway post, and I put the names of those people in the comments into the spinning wheel. Yes, I do a spinning wheel and I go live. And that's why it says bonus entry at the top of this post, in case you're curious. But let's look at the content of how I worded this particular one. It says a night out could be fun at the movies. So let's go. Give us 2 of your favorite movie recommendations. It can be recent or classic, chick flick, action, family, comedy, or drama, anything. Watch, and I'll show you how to make homemade kettle corn. And you'll see right below it is the actual link. And I'll show you how to find those in just a little bit. That brings them to my business page. So in this recipe, or in this particular post, yes, I'm selling a popcorn maker. But I could just talk about the popcorn maker and tell everybody how awesome it is. But instead, what I'm asking for them to share are 2 of their favorite movie titles. So it sort of crosses over into becoming a bit of a game, but I know I'm going to get more than 5 words out of them. And everybody loves sharing their favorite movie titles. So this is a very successful post. They share their favorite, their favorite movies. And because they're giving me 2, it's going to be more than 5 words, but it gives me some wiggle room, because my comment back to them in this particular post is a gift to match one of their favorite movies. So if they say their favorite movie is Wizard of Oz, I will type in the gifts Wizard of Oz and find something fun. And that's how I respond. So there's this all these comments and all these gifts. Basically, we've just gone to the movies as a group. So a popcorn maker is one of those products that's at a pretty sweet price point, 25 bucks or so. And yet, if you don't know what you're doing, you can mess it up. You can burn your popcorn. So in this post, I address specifically where to position the microwave popcorn maker, because I want them to be successful with a product that is very popular when they know how to use it properly. So I use this as kind of edutainment in this sense, but in a playful sort of way. Let's look at the next example. People love talking about their pets. So in this one, I am making dog treats. I had, in this particular virtual party, I had a whole day that was focused on cooking with kids. And for many people, their pets are just like their kids. So here's what it says. Are your kids fur babies? We can't leave them out. My Gracie girl loves these homemade treats. If you don't have the brownie pan, try making them in a muffin pan. Show us a picture of your favorite fur babies. And there's the link. So a couple of special things happen in this video. If you haven't seen it yet, I'll just tell you, not only am I making dog treats, but I'm giving a shout out to my friend who owns a dog training business. So this went on my business page. I've used it in multiple parties. People always have fun with it. But do you know what happened? My friend who owns the dog training business shared my video in her business page. So it accomplished a variety of things. So that gave me some exposure to groups outside of my own. So anytime you can create a video that might touch on a product or a service of someone else, let them know. I didn't say, hey, Susan, could you go post this on your business page? I just messaged her and said, hey, Susan, I gave your business a shout out today in my video. Here's the link. On her own, she's like, oh my gosh, this is so fun. And she posted it. So think of all the businesses that you frequent that you might be able to do something like that with. It's at their discretion whether or not they want to share it, but it does give an honorable mention to one of them. So what happens in this video, of course, is people share pictures of their fur babies of all shapes and sizes. And so I make sure they're giving me a picture. I am commenting back with a 5-word response. So, you know, and you can think how to do that. Again, not product oriented, but engaging. And so it means that there's something there for everyone. Okay, let's look at the next one. This is the last example I'll show you for actual videos. Years and years ago, those of us who were doing in-home parties did power cooking parties. And I bet some of you have been around long enough to know what that is. And some of you don't have a clue. And it was before the freezer meal workshop days. At this style party, we took one protein, divided it into Ziploc bags, and made 5 meals. We would share one at the party, and the other 4 would go into the host freezer. So it was a simple version of a freezer meal workshop. And a concept that's really powerful. In my parties, people love this. So here's an example of how I talk about this one. For your bonus entry, share what you what you like to freeze ahead and to save time on a busy night. Allow me to show you how to make happy meals. You're going to love this, and the kids can help. I'll teach you how to make 5 meals in about 30 minutes. If you like to camp in the summertime, these meals are great to take along. The recipes are in the comments. And then I add, here's a tip. Most people love receiving homemade meals for a gift. Make up a bunch and gift them to a new mom expecting a baby, someone preparing for surgery, or anyone who will be touched by a homemade meal from you. So in this post, people share what they freeze ahead. Some people will say, I've never thought to freeze meals. 6 words, bonus. We've also got people that will say, I like to freeze extra spaghetti sauce or pancakes or whatever. So we're getting some interaction, but people are very much interested in prepping ahead. So anyway, this particular demo is longer, but it's teaching skills that are really valuable to a lot of people and using very simple types of ingredients. So the gift giving concept works well. When I made these, in fact, I made them for a friend who was going through cancer treatment, and it made it easy for me to demo it and then talk about gifting it. And I delivered them to her the next day after they were froze solid. So it's a great concept, and you can modify it as you like. Perhaps prepping ahead for you means you've made a batch of tacos and you're showing people how to simply freeze some of the meat. You don't necessarily need to do 5 meals. You can just put the idea into people's heads. Okay, so you've got this content now living on your business page, some of the videos that you've made. Now you want to know, well, how do I use these in my party groups? How do I take them from that business page and bring them in? So here is a screenshot from my business page. So you'll see my business page is called Pampered Chef Independent Executive Director Julie Gizzi. I probably should have named it something different, but at the time I didn't know better, and it's really long and it is what it is. So I'm just leaving it. But when you click these 3 little dots in the upper right-hand corner, you will see copy link. That's the link that I use when I build my party templates. So I use Evernote and just organize my party templates. I do post manually. I use the Facebook scheduler for my morning post because I don't want to be on Facebook at 6:40 in the morning when my first posts go up. But whether you use that or you use Share or use Post My Party, the copy link is the link to your video that you're going to use. So I'm not using, I'm not going to the top of the screen and grabbing the URL. I'm grabbing the actual link to the video to make it as clean as it can be. If you want to use these videos and you want to use them somewhere else, like you want to put them in YouTube or something like that, I'll show you how to get those. So on a live video, if you just click on the moving video part, your screen will change. And then on the right part of the screen is where you're going to see all of your comments, different than before where the comments show below it. So you're basically opening up that video and you'll see something else that will show up. Download video appears. So why would you want to download the video? I mean, you might want to use it in a different place. If you're building a YouTube channel, for example, you can download the video and then upload it to Canva and then create videos there as you like. So that's how you would get that information. Okay. So let's say you're thinking, Julie, you're nuts. I'm never going to go live and create video content there, but I like the idea of doing a video-based party because it's showing lots of products, it's showing a technique like that, but don't want to do it myself. So you can take videos from marketing imagery and upload them here. And I think there's a faster way even than what I'm about to show you, but I'll get you started. When you download videos to your computer and you want to upload them to your business page, they'll basically live in your business page. So when you're sharing the links, it will drive people back to your business page. I don't prefer to use YouTube videos from the Pampered Chef YouTube channel unless I'm in a pinch. I would prefer to grab them from my business page because it brings people back there, if you follow kind of that logic. But here's what you'll do. There are 2 screens here. Hopefully the one on the left that you see shows you there's Creator Studio. You see this? So once you click on Creator Studio, this second screen will show up, and follow this arrow where it says upload video. If you have a bunch of videos you've downloaded to your computer from marketing imagery, you can actually upload multiple at a time. So you just click the multiple video option and you can upload all of them at once and then publish them to your business page so that they will live there. So what you can't do, and some people have found this the hard way, some consultants used to download them and upload them to their own YouTube channel. YouTube does not like that. They've shut down people's YouTube accounts for doing that. To my knowledge, that's not true with Facebook. I haven't heard of anybody having trouble with those videos being uploaded. Maybe someday that will be true, but right now it doesn't seem to be. So you can upload videos that you've downloaded over to here. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. We'll have time for questions in just a little bit. Okay, so what do you do with all of this content now. You've got your business page and you've got your virtual parties. And should you do anything with the business page stuff? And I would say yes. Prior to COVID, I didn't. My business page was fairly quiet in terms of what it is now. I might go live once or twice a week, maybe. I would post like marketing imagery pictures of like what was on special or a recipe occasionally. There was virtually zero traffic in my business page. And not even a ton of activity in my VIP page. There's some, but it's always the same people. What happened when I started doing this consistently on my business page, though, about 8 months in, everything exploded in a good way. The interaction there is very positive, lots of commenting, but I'm definitely working it in a way to create that, because the same best practices that you know about your virtual parties will apply on your business page live demos. I've noticed even today with a well-developed business page, if I post a static post that's product oriented, a recipe, a special, they get very, very few views or interaction. The live videos, though, completely different story. So to drive engagement there in my videos, I ask for engagement. I'll ask things like, you know, last night I've been doing Cinco de Mayo all week long. So last night I was doing a Southwest salad and I asked people, you know, what are you having for Cinco de Mayo? Or I might say, do you ever put grilled chicken in your salads? Or I might say, what's a topping you always have to have with tacos? I'm asking something simple so that people will comment. And when they comment on your business page, this is different than a group. When they comment on a business page, you do have the option to message them for about 1 week. I want as many people commenting as possible when I'm going live on my business page so that I can create those kinds of connections. So even if it's a one-word comment from them, that message button appears. So it opens that window. I've had one, and I only figured this out in the last couple of weeks. And oh my gosh, I think about all the missed opportunities because this is where I'm reaching out to people, inviting them to my parties, because many will find if people are sharing your videos, people will start following you who you haven't done business with before and who may have never heard of Pampered Chef before. So that message feature is really important. So just like your best practices are, in addition to messaging, it's interacting in the posts. So to my best, I acknowledge every single comment that people make. If they say, great demo, or, oh, I learned so much, or my family would love this, I try to make a 5-word comment back to every single one. And over time, that has truly paid off. It's not something that's sustaining where I don't need to do parties and get all my sales from there, but I do get decent sales now from my business page. And it took about 8 months of daily live videos to create that kind of momentum. So it's definitely been worth the time that it's taken to develop it. Okay, let's see here. Just a tip for you. If people do share your video from your business page, this is outside of a group because they can't share it from private groups, but on a business page, if they're sharing it, be aware of what people who are viewing can see and what they can't see. They can't always see the title of your video. They will sometimes just see, like if you are just watching Facebook videos and it rolls to the next one, they don't always see the title and they don't always see the comments. So they might not even know what they're watching. Like it took, a lot of people didn't know I was a consultant. I mean, it's because they're not seeing my page, they're just seeing my video. So periodically I'll just introduce myself very, very briefly in my video. And then, you know, I'll let them know that, yes, I'm using Pampered Chef products today, but even if you'll see the videos that you watched are from my business page. So you see I have a very soft sell style in my approach. and it doesn't hurt my sales. So there are people in the company that are very sales focused, even in their language. And there's some of us who aren't, and we're all successful. So you just need to find the way that fits your, fits your style. You're basically building your brand in the way that you present yourself. So you want to find, what are you good at? If you are the queen of the microwave, then that could be your bend. If you are really good with kids foods and making foods appealing to even picky eaters, that could be your bend. If you love all of it, it's going to give you lots of options, but you don't have to be a chef. I'm certainly not. I can spot a recipe that I think is going to fly. And then sometimes the things that you think are going to be a slam dunk as far as reception from people are not. And the things that you just put out there are hugely popular. You don't always know. But when I'm deciding what videos am I going to add into my parties, I gauge the response based on what I see going on my business page. So whatever your number count is, your view count, and you will all have a different number based on what activity you have there, you'll notice that some videos get more interaction than others. Use those videos, even if you think something else was a better video. It's usually what really grabbed people is going to give you good content. And if you create content that's engaging, that you can move into your virtual parties, it will change everything, because people will leave the party saying, I learned so much. I had fun, and all of the things that Erin has taught you about engaging games and all of that, you absolutely can weave into using a video-based approach. So I hope this sort of whets the desire to grow that video recipe-based approach in your parties, because it brings to life a static recipe that they would just read. It adds personality and brings a different level of relatability to you. So I would love to take some time for questions, comments. If there was something I didn't explain well, ask. What would you like to know or have clarified?
First, I want to thank you, because this was great information. I'll take you off a spotlight so we can look at everybody. I want to thank you because this was really, really great information. I personally don't cook nearly enough to go live every single day. Like, the thought of going live every day, I'm like, that means I'd actually have to cook food every single day, which is,
So let me challenge you. Do you eat every day?
I do eat every day. So I personally don't like being in the kitchen. So I'm that person who, like, the whole audience of people that doesn't enjoy cooking. So I definitely understand where you're coming from. And I always push myself to try to cook more and always video whatever I do. And I try to encourage the team to do it as well, because I agree 1,000,000%, nothing makes you more relatable than seeing you in action and like seeing you be whoever you are. A lot of us have small children, and I always tell everybody, get them involved, because truly and honestly, the videos of mine that get the most reaction and the videos of mine that get the most purchases from are the ones where my kids are a disaster. Honestly, the ones where that's the people want to see. They don't want to see me speaking well and explaining something. They want to see my kid singing daddy finger while he's shoving his finger into the food that I'm halfway cooking. So it's, it is what it is. But does anybody have any questions for Julie? Because she just kind of gave us a whole bunch of things that are very different than anything I've ever shown you.
Hi, Julie. Could you explain again how you do your giveaways without doing tickets?
Sure. So I do a 4-day party. My parties run Monday through Thursday. They're set up the weekend before, just with some basic welcome posts, just icebreaker types of things. But my party's 4 days long. So I have 4 giveaway posts. So on Monday, there's one post that's designated as giveaway post number 1 and following. Giveaway 2, 3, and 4 on each day. I pick, in a party that's really active, I just announce at the end, the giveaway post with the most interaction was giveaway post number 1. So everybody who commented on that, your names are in a spinning wheel. And for me, it's the introductions post. It's always the one that's the most popular because I ask my host to tag everybody in that post. So I encourage people to look for the giveaway entry post to make sure they add comments there. I don't care that people don't comment and interact with every post. I try to drive the algorithm in specific areas. So I have them watch for giveaway posts, and then I just throw in maybe one bonus entry each day, just to get them commenting. And then I'll give them an entry for each bonus entry. So how do you manage all this at the end? That's the big question. At the end of the party, in the search, I type in the word giveaway. I can see all 4 giveaway post number 1. I plug in just the names from the comments of that post into my wheel. I type in the word bonus entry, and they get an extra entry for each bonus entry, but there's never more than 4 of them. So I'm never looking at more than 5 posts. And it literally takes me, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes, maybe, to do it. And I do block parties of 4 people. So it means I'm doing 4 parties worth of drawings, all just in doing that search for those 4 posts. So it works for me. I have never been somebody that could say, I'll just pick a winner. I always like to go live and do that in a spinning wheel, but that's my style. So
thank you very much.
Tickets
I'm
make
gonna try that.
And you may find if you try it that what you did before is a better fit for you. So the beauty in this business is there's lots of us that share what we do, and you just find what feels good and suits your style. So
yeah, it just takes so long to go back and look at all the tickets and then add them, and I'm like, oh no, this sounds so much easier. Thank you.
I can't do it.
I'm totally that person that doesn't count the tickets. So sorry, not sorry.
Well, it's your
I have
style.
there's a method on how I pick my winner, but it does not involve me tallying actual tickets. So Karen wants to know, I know you just said you do block parties, but how many parties do you run a week, and what do you usually use as a prize?
So I am doing, most weeks I have 2 block parties. So this week I have a block party with 4 hosts and then a shared rewards party with 1 host. I do 2 prizes per party, whether it's 1 host or 4. I do an early bird drawing at the halfway point for those who've ordered up to that point, and I do 1 more prize at the end based on their giveaway post entries. My prize is almost always a small flexible cutting mat. I host parties a couple of times a year and use the host rewards to get oodles of small cutting mats. 1 cutting mat fits into a manila envelope, and it cost me 4 stamps because I don't go to the post office. So my prize was free, and I just slap 4 stamps on an envelope and off it goes. So, and I use the same prize for early bird as well as the end. It's a product everybody can use. It's flat, it's easy. So that's what I do.
Awesome. And if you don't have them, guys, you can do the same thing and just use the add gift, option if you don't have an inventory of, products, or you can use a gift certificate, which doesn't cost anything because it comes back to you.
Or an e-cookbook, but my prize didn't cost me anything. I used host rewards.
Once you get some stuff built up. I know I have a lot of built up product, but some of you guys may not. Another thing I wanted to say for those of you who are newer or may not realize this, doing parties this way or running your business this way is also a gateway to a ton of tax write-offs, because all of your groceries become tax write-offs if you're videoing everything that you do in the kitchen. So if you're videoing everything you're doing, everything you're cooking, everything you're prepping, everything you're showing on your business page or your VIP page, like I would do this on my public VIP page where Julie does it on her business page. Either way, it's promoting your business. Every single thing you're cooking is promoting your business. So therefore, your grocery list, like your receipts, are very heavy on tax deductions. Like those are my biggest tax deductions this year for my groceries. So that's an important one. Anyone else have any other questions for Julie while we have her? No, I'm sure I will get some questions after the fact for everyone who's at work and unable to watch in the middle of the day. So I'll let you know.
Wait, I have a question.
Oh, yep.
Sorry.
You hear me?
Mind if I ask? Curious
Go ahead,
about the block
Karen.
party. I've never done a block party. They intrigue me. are your hosts open and welcome to the block parties, or do they just feel like a number when you do 4 hosts in one block party?
You know, I started doing block parties when I got thrown into Facebook jail a couple of years ago. I was running too many parties. I was using Post My Party. Posts were crossing over at the same exact time. And I knew I needed to make a change because I don't like being blocked out like that. So that's what forced me into learning block parties. My first 2 block parties failed. I did not know what I was doing. And then I got into a rhythm. I don't even ask my hosts if that's what they want. I mean, anybody who books with me is usually booking from the party before it, and that's what they saw. So it's not a hard sell. What I try to do to my best is build a little bit of community among those 4 hosts. In my host coaching, there's kind of dual host coaching. There's the group host coaching where I'm guiding them on the basics that they all need to know. And then I message them privately on the things that are specific to them. But there's, you know, early on during the prep, I ask them to share, hey, tell us a little bit about you, where you're from, who you're cooking for, and why you're having a party. And so they get to know each other a little bit in the group chat. And that helps because I don't want anybody feeling like a number. I will post, you know, I don't ask my host every day to do something. So I'll say, okay, who wants to post something tomorrow? So there's a little bit of, it feels like a group effort, and yet they have their own results. So, and at the same time, if you have a host that is not motivated, it doesn't kill your whole party. You know, I have 4 hosts this week, and 2 of the 4 are actually not doing very much. Like they're not, the party's end today and they're not even qualified yet. So it happens to all of us, but I don't worry about it because the other 2 were really good. I set goals based on the block versus by the host in my own business. So I have more realistic expectations, but so far, you know, I've done them like this for a couple of years and usually have anywhere from 15 to 18,000 in sales per month. So it works. You know, it does work. But it's a learning curve for sure.
Leilani, did that answer your question? Because you asked how she host coaches with the video parties. Yes. Okay. Leilani, I'm sure, has 4 children screaming behind her, so she doesn't want to unmute, is my guess. Does anybody else have any other questions before I let everybody on their merry way? How do you do block parties at Consultants Corner? You don't actually set them up as a block party in Consultants Corner. You just set up 4 separate parties, but you run them together in Facebook.
Correct. I use Linktree. Is your team familiar with Linktree?
I haven't done a training on it. I've spoken about it. I actually have a training plan for them on it.
Okay. You hardly need training for that. If you, any of you are, if you're doing multiple parties like this, a block party, Linktree is a great way to have, you have one link that people click on and they can see all of the party links. So there's no confusion in the block party. And that's where I think some consultants have trouble wrapping their head around it. Linktree is, the website is linktr.ee. It's free and each week has its own link tree. You don't need any training on it. It's seriously, it's the simplest link ever. And so that's the only link that gets posted in my parties for shopping. So it's very, very clear. So there's no confusion among guests on whose party they're shopping with. So one thing I will suggest, and this is not related to video based, but since we have block party questions, I feel very strongly about the cover image of our Facebook parties. I am not an advocate of ever using a cover image that shows the guest or host special, because that is salesy in my opinion. And if this is the first thing that people see, like if you did an in-home party, you wouldn't have a sign on the door that says, hey, if you spend $80 tonight, you're going to get free whatever, come on in. We wouldn't do that in an in-home party. And I don't think we should do that at a virtual party either. So my cover image is always the 4 faces of my hosts. So I use Canva to create something that's inviting so that they don't feel like a number. The name of the party is the name of the 4 hosts. So it'll simply be, you know, Julie, Erin, Kim, and Michelle's Pampered Chef party. That's the name of the group. So the name of the group and the cover makes it personal that way. So
I mean, I love that. And I'm very much with you on organic and not salesy. Like my videos, and I've trained my team and they've all heard me talk a lot about being organic. Like you don't want your video to be like, and here buy this, and here buy this, and buy this. Like our covers are usually not product shots, like recipe shots or lifestyle shots or something like that. I don't do faces, but it's only one person, so we don't need their face up there. But yeah, I think Christina, we did a training a couple weeks ago on block parties, because you can ask Julie questions, but block parties are a whole nother topic to get into, and there's a lot of details about it. So if you want, I can link you over to that training and you can kind of get some ideas on how that works, because it's a great way to run your business. And if you want to streamline what you're doing, it can really help you.
and there's things that you can do that you might not be able to do. So like maybe you want to go live in your parties and not on your business page. It's a lot easier to do that in one spot in a block party than if you have 4 parties going on in a week and doing it on each 4. I mean, my family can't eat that much food. So part of my reason to go live in my business page was because I knew I could use it in multiple places. So the only time I'm going live in my parties ever is I go live the night before we start to welcome everyone. I go live to do my early bird drawing and live to do my end drawing. Nothing else is live in my part. I'm engaged in it, but I'm not demoing at all in my parties live. But they don't know that, I don't think.
Yeah, they do know that mine aren't live because my videos are uploaded into a Canva, but it still gets the traction, and because it's still you, and it's still,
Yes.
you're not just like sharing some like generic whatever. Right. So it still gets you that same.
One thing you could do, if you like that Canva approach, is you could upload your Canva video to your business page and share the link from your business page.
Yeah, that's how a lot of people do their videos in Post My Party, because in Post My Party, you can't upload a video. You have to upload it to your business page and then link it into your business page in Post My Party. I like to do the Canva thing because I like to do more than just the video. Like I'll have a video, but then I'll have, like, my food is never pretty. So like I'll have a video of me doing things, but then I'll use the home office photography where it looks really pretty. So you get like what it actually looks like and what it could look like, kind of thing.
You do that though on your business page? It's like, couldn't you take your Canva MP4, upload it to your business page?
Yeah, no, you absolutely can. I build it into one graphic in Canva,
yeah, right.
And then you can upload that MP4 graphic, whatever the video graphic into your business page. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Yep. It's anything to drive people back to my business page, because they will remember. I actually dissolve my groups a few weeks after they're over. So I know some people don't do that. It's just a matter of neatness for me. And it may be short-sighted, but that's why I want everybody to go into my business page, because I can stay connected there. The last tip I'm going to share with you on your business page, if you're newer on the business page side, something that helped me grow my business page that I didn't even realize the impact was my mother-in-law sharing my videos. She's retired and stuck at home, just like most retired people are right now. And she shared my videos, and her retired friends would watch and they would share the videos. So if you can have a couple of people in your life who are playing around on Facebook a lot, you, with or without your suggestion, encourage them. Hey, if you see something that's fun, would you share it? Over time, that has really paid off. Like a lot of my customers from my business page are retired people who are on Facebook all day long. They're not running around with kids. They're not homeschooling. They are watching QVC and Julie's business page. And so it's an interesting demographic. So if you have some retired folks in your life, not a lot, just a mother-in-law or a sister or somebody, an aunt, encourage them to share your posts.
It's so funny you say that. My junior high school history teacher shares my videos all the time, and I'm guessing in that demographic. And I always see that she shares my videos and she doesn't add any words to it. She literally just shares it. It's not like, hey, look at blah, blah, blah. She's always sharing my videos. And it's the same thing. And I do get people joining my VIP group from it because they're, most of the people that she's friends with, I don't know them from a hole in the wall, except for other people I went to junior high school with. But yeah, it's that same demographic. Yeah.
It's powerful. It's powerful.
It is. It is. Okay, Julie, I'm going to thank you very much
You're
for
welcome.
joining us and training us and giving us this like amazing tool that everybody can embrace and intertwine into their business as it stands. So I appreciate
Thanks
it
for
very
the
much.
invitation.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a great day, guys.
You too.